All right, hey everybody, it's Joe Johnson. I'm here with my buddy Ken March, who is a fabulous musician, singer-songwriter. Worked with the Cape Cod Symphony Orchestra as well as some famous artists, which I don't even know if I can mention their names. Top secret. But wanted to talk with Ken a little bit today about his story, just so he can kind of inspire other people by telling his story, kind of what he went through, his challenges. So, before we worked together, what was life kind of like for you?
Life for me, well, before we started working together, and you knew me before we started working together, I had sort of reached a low point with a lot of my ambitions. Both, as a health coach, both physically as well as, spiritually and professionally and in different areas. And I felt like I was just sort of treading water. I felt that I was no longer in control. I felt that I had become not so much a victim of my environment, but certainly I felt sort of adrift, not in control. I spent, specifically health-wise, I had spent an exorbitant amount of time and energy doing so many different things, from gym memberships to health apps and subscriptions and new types of exercises, and I was counting every single calorie. I was putting in the time and energy. There was no fair weather dieting thing that I was doing, and I think over the course of a year and a half or so, I had lost like 6 pounds, and that was just stupid. That was not acceptable for my level of investment, and so it sort of reached a head when I guess like the pants didn't really fit properly. That was sort of a moment of like, all right, I'm gonna need to call somebody that knows what they're doing. I need to call in a professional. That was when I called you. We had been working together musically, and so I knew what you were about, and I felt comfortable, giving you a call and sort of admitting, not that I couldn't do it, but maybe that I couldn't do it. So, so yeah. Definitely felt a little unempowered when we first met.
Because in addition to like not fitting into the clothes, like you said you were tired and like your
energy
down.
was a really
it's
one thing feeling tired when you're putting in a hard day and making first downs in your life. It's another thing when you're feeling tired, before lunch, and you're just like, you don't even want to get started. You're lying in bed going, this day is worthless. Like I don't even want to get started. And so I was definitely feeling that way. Feeling no energy. Very much leaning heavy on caffeine. That whole 4-hour energy thing. I was that guy. It's 4 o'clock. Except I was doing that at like, it's morning. All right, gotta caffeinate up. It's the afternoon. Gotta caffeinate up. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna make it through the evening? More caffeine. And if it wasn't the shakes, it was like the crashes in between, which is just worthless. Worthless for productivity, worthless for how you feel, how you feel about yourself.
And I remember saying you knew nutrition was important, but you were confused and like didn't know what to do. And
and I think a lot of people, they work hard at they work hard towards their fitness and their health, and I think I can definitely say I worked really, really hard at my fitness. I was not slacking at all. I was definitely counting every single calorie. I was using the MyFitnessPal and the Livestrong app and making sure that I knew exactly when I was eating, how much I was consuming. Not only that, I had my my body fat percentage calculator. I had everything to a T. I knew how many calories I was burning when I was running, for how long I was running. I had the Nike Arm thing, which tracked me on a satellite, and I actually had the maps with Google Maps showing where I'd run, the elevation, my heart rate. So I knew that I was working really, really hard. And the only thing that I wasn't paying attention to was the nutrition. As far as like what was going into my body, when it was going to my body, as far as like the types of calories. I was inspired also by reading a book, Good Calories, Bad Calories, seeing that what you eat is really, really, you are what you eat. Literally, the cells in your body are replenished every Studies are they're not quite sure, but anywhere from 3 to 7 years, I think, every single cell in your body is of a different is replenished,
Totally.
is renewed.
And so you were doing all that stuff, and it just wasn't working at all. So then, you came to me, and then, so what were your concerns about kind of getting involved and working with me?
Yeah.
What concerns did you have?
It was a financial investment, one, which wasn't necessarily that scary. I'd already spent a lot of money on toys and tools and books and all that other stuff. Another one was time.
None of this stuff has worked before, so why invest more money?
Exactly.
It's not going to work again.
Exactly. Exactly. Is this just another money hole? This is stupid.
Yep.
Especially since we were friends, I didn't want to be annoyed that I had just wasted my time, with you. I was also concerned because I was in pretty good shape. I was certainly. Oftentimes I see the success stories and it's like obese people, and
You're like, I'm a pretty healthy dude already.
yeah,
what's
I'm
this
ready to
gonna do
go.
for me, really?
I'm the friend that people called when they were moving and needed help.
Mhm.
I'm ready to go. It was just, is this for me? So that was a concern. Time-wise too. The recipes, I know that you go with a lot of recipes, a lot of what you're eating. It's kind of like a heavy mental approach, and it shouldn't.
You're like,
not.
am I going to have to cook a lot, or how's this going to
Am I gonna
fit in with my schedule? And
Yeah,
stuff?
buy special groceries. Am I gonna have to go to special stores? Am I gonna have to go to multiple stores?
Am I going to go to Whole Foods and have to spend all my money on this food now?
Exactly. And I was also concerned: is it just going to be temporary? Am I going to go on some diet that I think we've probably all seen friends that go on the Atkins diet. Am I allowed to say specific names?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
and you're all excited for them losing 10 or 15 pounds, and then as soon as they're done, a month later, they're right back where they started from. And that's just, aside from that being a waste of time and energy spent, it's so ridiculously depressing for that bounce back. So I was concerned about that.
You're concerned about social situations and kind of networking.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
right.
business
I do a lot of
too,
music, and a lot of music networking takes place in places where there is alcohol
Yeah,
or coffee.
sure.
And if I'm trying to wean off of coffee and alcohol, how am I going to network? How am I going to sit down socially and meet with these people?
Yeah.
How are we going to be able to, and also relax? Alcohol. It's really great to kick back with some beers and watch the game.
Right.
And I'm huge into that. That's that's my chill time. It's like watching football, drinking beers, hanging out, and maybe playing some cards. And so. Yeah, that was a huge concern as well.
And eating this healthy, making changes around food, is it going to affect my social life? And also with your girlfriend, you were saying, right?
My girlfriend's a foodie. She identifies creatively with cooking. And she doesn't buy things. She's not into jewelry. She's into cooking stuff. That's what she loves. That's really just her passion in her life. And I was concerned that the relationship wouldn't survive a drastic culinary change.
It's a big concern.
Yeah, that was a big concern.
Yeah.
That was one of the top ones.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. That's probably the biggest concern I've ever heard from somebody.
Yeah, is this
working with Joe is gonna end my relationship. Oh shit.
But I found I wasn't being the person that I should have been in the relationship, and I think it was a result of the fatigue from eating poorly and also being depressed at not being able to control my constitution.
So now making the changes, you kind of stepped up as a leader in the relationship and
it was really fun.
Choices.
It was really fun. It was cool. Learning the recipes actually ended up sort of being a bonding time. And not just the recipes, but learning how to use really healthy ingredients, learning how to be creative with ingredients is really fun and is one of my favorite aspects of our relationship actually. So even going grocery shopping, we'll actually call it like date night. It's like a joke. We'll go grocery shopping and laugh and have a fun time picking out stuff.
Nice.
So.
And so making these changes, how did it affect your energy and stuff like that? How did it affect?
Well, it affected me in absolutely in only positive ways. Right off the bat, I think I did have. I was pretty committed, and I kind of went cold turkey on the coffee and the alcohol and stuff, and just quit, just straight out the gate. And I think I had headaches the first day. And I've heard that some people will have it for a little bit longer than that, but actually they weren't that bad at all. Certainly not like migraines that I'll tend to get. But I found that 48 hours later, like like 2, 3, 4 o'clock would roll around, and I was completely wide awake. I was not really struggling at all. Certainly by the end of the week, I could feel totally different. I do a lot of, I work at night an awful lot,
Nice.
and I remember I think I was teaching some lessons, and it was like 8:30, and I had to go to a gig after that, and I remember it's a weekly thing, and I remember the week before being so tired and just standing there leaning up against my guitar case, shutting my eyes, going, I'm not gonna make this. And then that week later, after I'd started, I remember just feeling like, wow, like I'm not struggling to keep my eyes open. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This is awesome. And it didn't stop there. The energy just kept coming and coming, and it was just boundless. And I was able to spend that energy, as I know you're aware, in some really productive ways. I reapplied it into myself, and I have been able to make some really great first downs financially and socially. I've been able to network a ton and get a lot of really great clients and up my game, up my business game as a result of that energy. And definitely don't need to sleep as long as I used to, which is so strange. How can I lower my coffee intake and not need to sleep as much?
Right.
So
Right.
that's awesome. Plus I'm
And
saving
so-
money.
Yeah.
I think what I saved in giving up alcohol paid for certainly the program and all the ingredients and much more.
Yeah.
Probably about equal.
Yeah. Because not only you were saving money, is that increased energy and productivity and focus.
Well,
You
it's
told me
made-
led to you were making $1,000 a month before, and now you're making $3,400 a month.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's impressive. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. That's awesome. And also too.
Hopefully that'll keep going up. There's
Yeah,
no
totally.
reason it won't.
Totally, of course.
And one of the cool things about the program that we created is it's entirely sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Working with you, I know we've chosen foods that are fun, exciting, and recipes, activities, ways that it's entirely. Like working out. I used to work out for at least 40 minutes a day. And I don't even really work out that much anymore. I do about 15 minutes of like stretching and stuff. And
but even through working out less, you
Save
lost
time.
like 21 pounds. I think in 2 months is about what it was.
yeah, it's about. I feel like I'm bragging or something. Actually, I have to
Yeah,
admit,
which is cool. Good brag. Yeah.
I feel a little awkward sharing so much success. But yeah, it's been really, really. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a cool time. Cool couple
And you
months.
said making all those changes has just enabled you to have more confidence in any area of life.
Yeah, definitely.
I lost this weight, and so now I can do anything. It's kind of what I get from you. That's why.
Yeah, that's how I feel. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel like your body, your constitution is not a proper reflection of how you believe that you should be, and especially if you're working out all the time, you're dieting all the time, it's just not working, and you don't get it, that can be really depressing. And you think, God, if I can't even control what I look like with so much effort, how am I going to make first downs professionally? Especially being on stage, it's not like my body is an instrument, but it's like, I'm moving, I'm engaging, I'm selling songs to the public, and it sounds really like I'm selling out, but it is, you're engaging with the audience, and so you want to feel confident and cool on stage, and when you can't button your pants, you're not feeling confident on stage. And so,
Yeah.
seizing control of my body was kind of step one for seizing control of my life professionally.
Right.
And for me too, I know some of the other guys in the group aren't into the spiritual aspect, but for me it was also the first step for re-seizing control of my life spiritually and in socially and other areas too, because practicing 15 minutes of stretching, 15 minutes of meditation or prayer or whatever is a practice for so much more than just that. It's like a form of discipline.
Right.
Practicing, putting your resume out there, cold calling this agent or manager or band or club or whatever, sending out an email, and you have no reason to suspect that it's going to work until you start seeing that, you know, as you apply yourself, things are changing for a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So the confidence that I got from having my body suddenly come into focus with what I wanted it to be, and we're just getting started, is was incredibly exciting and incredibly empowering. I don't know if I would have had the confidence to do some of the really cool things I've done professionally in the last couple of months if I didn't have a pair of pants that fit.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Because you got new jobs, and you made a record, and you writing a book, and all that different stuff. So that's very cool. Just getting more along track, you know, with where you really want your life to be.
Where I want my life to be. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Because I felt like there's this great
in all
saying.
areas.
Yeah, there's this great saying that is only a dead fish floats with the tide, and I felt like I was floating with the tide before we sort of implemented our plan and before we started working together. And I felt like I was just my gigs were easy, not challenging. They weren't challenging to me. My clients, my students, my work was uninspired, and it was just sort of me showing up to do what I had to do in order to just keep the roof over my head. And it was really scary making some of the changes that we did, but yeah, not gonna lie.
So
that was pretty scary.
And totally. So what would you say to somebody who's concerned about getting involved in a program like this and making changes like this? You know, because it is scary. It's totally scary. What would you say to them?
I'd say that that they should be afraid, because all of those areas that they would be afraid of, you know, all the areas that I was afraid of. Is this temporary? Is this going to be expensive in some way, shape, or form? Is this going to ostracize you socially? All of those areas of concern that you have are dynamic and changeable, but that's a good thing. You want to be aware and have anxiety. It's called a healthy respect. You want to have a respect that those areas are changeable, and sure, they might get worse, and that's what the fear is, right? But as a team, we're all working to get them better, you know? And we also have the benefit of everyone else that's done the program too. Fortunately, I wasn't the first one, so I got to look at some success stories before me and go, what the hell? That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to do that. So I tell them, the only thing that you have to fear is coming into focus and then not having the ability to make an excuse for yourself. Why aren't you working on that book? Why aren't you working on that album? You've got the energy, you know, and if you don't have energy, you say, I'm too tired. That's a great excuse. Oh, I'm too tired. But when you no longer have that, you've got to...
And it's kind of fear of success is the only thing that's...
Fear of success, yeah, that's exactly right. And I think we've seen that sometimes with the group, is the fear of success. But I think with just trying it out, you'll find that succeeding is actually nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, right.
It's really exciting. It's really cool.
You kind of found that, you know, you put some money in, you put some time in, put some energy in, but that was an investment. It's just like blossomed.
Exactly, definitely an investment. I mean, the money that I've saved, from, I've definitely saved a lot of money. And as far as time goes, the amount of time that I have, productive time, has increased. I mean,
more time.
I work out less than I did before.
Yeah, right.
I spend less time, you know, cooking and concerned about food than I did before. I don't think I spend less time than I ever have. I mean, but that's why you're here. You know, you're a great coach. You know, you're helping me figure it out. So, so thank you. Time-wise, that's nothing. Money-wise, it is an investment, but it is a cost. But it's not a cost. Period. It's an investment.
Yeah.
And I figure I'm worth investing in. I mean, if there's anything around me in my life that's worth investing, it's, you know, it's me. It's my body. It's my ability to work. It's my ability to work. Yeah, that's pretty key.
Yeah, totally.
So.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm totally inspired by you. I'm so inspired every time I think about your story and what you've done. So
thank you. Well, you've
super
definitely
excited
been
for you.
Instrumental in that. So, and we're just getting started. You know what I mean? So. Let's see.
Exciting road ahead.
Yeah.
And so is there anything we can sing to wrap this up?
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything we can sing?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think I have to admit I'm drawing a blank. It's, you know what? It's embarrassing sharing success. I don't know why. It's
totally.
It's hard. You know, it's really easy to sit around and complain.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to... I feel like I can bond with people over failing and like,
Mhm.
man, this sucks, life's hard, you know,
Mhm.
you're not gonna believe what happened at this bar, this guy didn't pay me and blah blah blah, this client, you know, stole my guitar or whatever.
Mhm.
You know, sharing success with you actually is it's kind of it's scary.
Totally.
So I would urge anyone that you work with to think about what it's going to be like to be sharing success,
Yeah.
because it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I admire your courage
So-
in sharing it, and to everybody out there, Ken March, this is him. You can do it too. You can do it too. You can do it too. You can do it too.
Absolutely.
Boom. That's a wrap.